All right, the clock has ticked to 7:30. Let's get a start. Hey, friends, thank you for joining us. As perhaps you already know, I'm Peter Shearer, Mayor of Pleasantville, and this is our first ever effort at a virtual town hall here on Facebook. And just want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. Our goal tonight is that we spend, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes together, and mostly make it interactive. I'll be happy to try to answer any questions I can. If you want to send along a question, do so in the chat, and I'll keep an eye on that pane as I talk. I had a few comments up front, and a few people sent in questions in advance, so let me just get a start. So, as is obvious to all of us, we're all living in a bit of an unreal world. Now, weeks into New York on pause, weeks into the COVID virus crisis. As of today, there were just under 31,000 total confirmed positives in Westchester County. A significant percentage of those folks were positive weeks ago and have now emerged from the other side of the virus. But in the village of Pleasantville, we've got about 120 confirmed positives. Again, many of those folks already recovered. I think it's pretty clear that that number is likely an undercount for a variety of reasons, including the fact that the mechanism by which these things are tracked has a time lag in it. But you can see on the county website and also on the New York State website the tracker of COVID cases all around. And the very good news in a disturbing time is that clearly we have flattened the curve. The efforts every one of us has made to try to avoid transmitting this thing has started to help. What next remains so unclear to all of us, and I'm sure that'll be the subject of some questions tonight. I can't reiterate enough how important it is to follow the governor's advice and the general good common sense advice that whenever you're anywhere outside of the group that with which you quarantine, you should wear a face covering when you cannot maintain 6 or 8 feet of social distance. So grocery store, pharmacy, out on a walk, make sure that you have a face mask on. And if you're on a walk distant from everybody else, make sure you have one in your pocket so if conditions change, you're in a position to respond. We continue to struggle with some folks of all ages, but especially young people who are congregating, playing 5-on-5 basketball, just an insane behavior. And we really, really encourage everybody to comment wherever they can, within their family, within their friend group. It cannot be more important for all of us to try to avoid spreading this thing. All of this has had a big impact on all of our lives, and certainly on the village life. We continue to have our staff in on a staggered basis, so we don't have everybody in at once, but we're picking up the trash. The police are operating, the fire department and ambulance corps. Thank you to our intrepid volunteers, continue to do a great job. So systems are working. Certainly lots of stuff that we hope to be doing at this time of year we're not. But the good news is that the cogs are continuing to work. As a lot of you know, we were supposed to have a village election in March. Steve Lord, our trustee who was retiring, would have been sent off with a happy send-off. And in an uncontested election, Paul Alvarez would now be a trustee. That election got postponed and postponed again, and as of the moment is scheduled by the governor's edict for September 15th. Stay on that. For pretty obvious reasons, we've had to go ahead and cancel the Pleasantville Music Festival in July. The fire department parade and Pleasantville Day, both great May events, both been canceled. Clearly we'll do something for Memorial Day, but it won't be the same as always. Stay in touch on that front. Farm market remains open. Lots of useful stuff at the pleasantvillefarmmarket.org website to tell you about the steps they have taken to try to keep us all safe, but maintain access to that supply of food. Village parks remain open, but again, it's passive recreation. We're following the state guidelines, not allowed to have people playing court sports and the like. And then lastly, in that category, I sent out a note and have done so a couple of times asking that everybody, homeowners and landscapers alike, stop using leaf blowers for the time being. We're in a circumstance where lots of folks are dealing with respiratory illness. Lots of folks are working from home. Kids obviously are working, trying to do their schoolwork from home. The noise, the dust, the general din created by leaf blowers is the wrong thing at the wrong time. Please stop. Lastly, I just wanted to have a shout out to the many great Pleasantville activities, as has always been the case in this good village. Folks line up to help one another in a very, very long line. So there's a group called the Pleasantville Neighbors Fund. You can find out more information at pleasantville-neighborsfund.org. That is supporting the Pleasantville Food Pantry at the Presbyterian Church, and also going to offer some assistance when they can to help residents who may need rent or mortgage assistance during this crisis. So again, pleasantville-neighborsfund.org. The community garden in the side yard at St. John's Church is up and running and doing the great job they always do in connecting folks with food. Please take a look at pvillegarden.org. Lots of you who were on Facebook, I'm sure, saw that the effort to create a Rescue Main Street program where folks bought $100 cards in Pleasantville businesses, and those cards are going to be distributed. Unbelievable result. Over 450 cards sold. That's $45,000 into the pockets of stores and restaurants who, as you can imagine, are struggling in a big way. So lastly, let me suggest you get to the Chamber of Commerce website, which is pleasantville.com. They have been updating on a near daily basis a list of our local businesses and what you can look for from them. Restaurants that are offering pickup and takeout and delivery, stores that are offering curbside pickup and delivery, internet sales, anything we can do to help every one of us in this great community, that would be much appreciated. So get yourself to pleasantville.com. And then on a more local and lighter note, a shout out to Trustee Nicole Asquith for her hashtag Peeville Nature campaign. You'll see lots of it here on Facebook, trying to connect people to good stuff that's going in our community. So a bunch of questions have been asked before, and I can start in on that, but I'll keep an eye also on the chat here. If folks have questions that they would like to pose, I will interrupt myself and try to jump to that. Any question is welcome on absolutely any subject. One of the questions lots of folks have had, and that we have, is what's going to happen to this year's pool season. Normally the Pleasantville pool opens on Memorial Day. I think it is quite clear that the Pleasantville pool is not going to open on Memorial Day. If we're able to open it at all, it will clearly happen later in the season. As of the moment, we wouldn't have the right to open it. It's not clear what kind of guidance will come from the state and what sort of guidance we'll offer for ourselves. But bottom line is, it appears that pools are safe. Chlorine kills the virus, but lots of people close together in pools and lots of people close together around pools are not safe. So stay tuned on that. Certainly no major decision has been made, but I will say we're in a condition where obviously everybody's budget is strained, not only all of us as residents trying to keep our sources of income, but also on the village side. And opening the pool for a short season presents a bunch of challenges that are as yet understood. So no clarity about what will happen on the pool long run, but certainly it's not going to open as early as it normally does. Similar question, people asking what may happen with the Pleasantville Day Camp. Same story. We haven't made any any final decision on that. It remains a little bit hard to imagine how we could run the day camp with hundreds of kids and lots of high school students functioning as counselors, and lots of trips on buses and the pool and all of the above. Again, no final decision. I can tell you that some communities in Westchester have already announced that they're not going to be able to run a day camp, and all I can say is we haven't made a final decision, but I am not terribly optimistic that it's going to work out, and I would encourage everybody to scramble, as I know it will require a scramble for so many parents to figure out what the summer may look like. So we'll try to make a decision on that as soon as we can. Question in the chat room, any chance you can open the tennis courts for singles play? So as lots of you know, I've gotten this question a bunch of times about tennis. The tennis courts are currently closed. The state just a couple of days ago clarified their messaging about tennis courts, and by state edict, tennis courts can be opened for singles play only, not doubles. and there can be no benches, no bathrooms, not that we have bathrooms in our tennis court, but no place for congregation at all. So I do know that the Pleasantville Tennis Club, which is a private tennis club, intended to open, and I believe did, based on those guidelines. Our problem in the village is we don't have staff supervising the tennis courts. And I can tell you at the beginning of this problem, we tried to establish some guidelines that were widely disrespected. And at one point, were forced to take down the tents because inappropriate behavior just was continuing and we couldn't get it to stop. So we're struggling on that front, but as of the moment, our tennis courts are not open, but we continue to talk about that on a near daily basis. The aforementioned future trustee, Paul Alvarez, wants to know if I am the person in the T-Rex costume running around the village. So, Paul, I'm not, but maybe that's a good idea. Also, a note here, which I had forgotten to mention, hashtag feeding the frontline Pville. We shouldn't forget them. They're feeding the frontline and putting it back in our community. A local business owner started this and has raised over $40,000 and still going. That's hashtag feeding the frontline Pville. As perhaps some of you have seen on Facebook or in the press, there were efforts also made to support our local hospitals, Phelps and Northern Westchester, with folks contributing to funds to buy food in local restaurants, supporting them, and have that delivered over to the hospital workers. So much great stuff going on. Hashtag feeding the front line in Pleasantville. Question: when will parks like Soldiers and Sailors and Faroes reopen? The problem we have there is that passive recreation is acceptable by the state edict. Folks, for example, are taking good advantage of walking around the pond up at Nanahagan and the like. But team sports, group sports are not permitted by state edict. We have had quite a bit of trouble, I'm sorry to report, with young people ignoring that widely and spending some time with our enforcement to try to get it to stop. So as of the moment, you're welcome to be in public parks for passive recreation. You're not welcome to be in public parks for team sports. And our playgrounds are closed. Just a terrible idea for little kids to be climbing all over playground equipment that hasn't been fully cleaned. Question about whether the dog park can open. Same story there. That has been a site that is difficult to manage. It's not as though we have somebody down there managing it on a day-to-day basis. I'll put that on a list to revisit with our team. Has home construction been approved to resume? That is not a matter for us independently. That is a decision made by the governor and the executive orders they have. My understanding right now, and again, we'll confirm this, is that work undertaken by a single worker can be permitted. The governor has proposed a number of changes that may start to take place on a regional basis and ease up certain kinds of restrictions on a gradual basis. I know that construction is one of them, but up until now, I think as of right now, a single worker working on a job is permitted, but a team is not. Thanks again, Linda, Letter, and Natalie, pointing out the hashtag Front Steps project. Great photographic project. Donna Muller, as she so often does, steps right into a moment to take advantage of the chance to help people. More than $5,000 back into our business community and to families in need. Donna has been going around taking socially distanced photos of people on the front porch, a great collection of stuff, and also contributing in a Pleasantville way to a movement that's going on all around the region and beyond. Someone asked if I could mention Karsten Johnson, and I certainly should and will do so right now. Lots of you knew Karsten Johnson, who for many years was the village historian, often seen at Village Hall, often seen at the library, often seen downtown, and was a frequent appearance, made a frequent appearance on PCTV. Karsten has been ill for a while, has not been living in Pleasantville in the last year or so, and sadly passed away last weekend. So a very big loss for Pleasantville, and we are certainly sorry to have lost really a great mind full of wisdom about the history of Pleasantville, New York. We're certainly going to make an effort to create something in his memory, but also to make sure that all the good work he did in getting our archives reorganized can become more accessible. Here's another one. Please support local news, fund the Examiner. The Examiner News, our local free newspaper, which has done a really great job for quite a few years now in covering the Pleasantville scene in ways that the Gannett paper just can't do anymore. They have struggled mightily because of a tremendous loss in ad dollars. If you go to theexaminernews.com, you can read about what they're doing, and you can also contribute to a program to support local news. I can report that I did so myself, and I do that with enthusiasm because Adam Stone, Martin Wilbur, and their crew have been tremendously attentive to the village of Pleasantville. And as you might imagine, I occasionally disagree with them, and we need folks out there disagreeing with all of us in a respectful way and sharing that for the community. So, all right, I think I got the list of things that we had in the chat right now. More may appear, but let me go back to a couple of other questions. Parking meter fees have been suspended by the village board at the moment at downtown. That is continuing until May 15, which is the end of the governor's official New York pause. As that date approaches, we'll revisit the question of whether we should extend the free parking beyond. Clearly, no need for anybody to be moving along because there have been so few cars downtown. So I would like nothing better to think that folks can get downtown and take advantage of what's available for the businesses that are open for curbside and pickup and the like, and we're trying to make it as easy as we can. Park meter's still free until the 15th and perhaps beyond. Someone asks, when will the construction be done in Memorial Plaza? Three things to say about that. I imagine that question was about the bigger project that we've discussed at some length over the last couple of years, the Manville Road project and the Civic Space project. But a small piece that I'll mention right now is that if you drive around Memorial Plaza right now, in the last couple of days, we have, with our own forces, our DPW team, again, with only half the folks in on any given time, moved the curb cut that's in the median of the Memorial Plaza between the commuter side and the parking meter side, closer to the gazebo. And our reason for doing that was generated by the farm market, which has been studying ways to create better social distancing as people are coming to the farm market in the busier seasons. They're spreading out the tents further, establishing a series of lines with people waiting at 6 feet, and moving that curb cut closer to the gazebo is helpful to them in doing that. It happens also to be where we intended to move it in the bigger picture plan when and if we construct a civic space at the end of Memorial Plaza. The first piece of that project is the state grant, partly funded by state grant, to improve the streetscape and pedestrian conditions on Manville Road. As of the moment, we're getting to the end of the approvals on that, going to staple that in the corner and sit on it until it's clear what the budget world looks like, what the business world looks like, what the lives look like for all of us. It clearly is not the time for us to be undertaking any major projects. So we're almost to the end of the Manville Road approval project with the state DOT. We'll staple that in the corner. Cautiously optimistic that conditions may allow us to reconsider that soon, because there is a big federal grant that is attached to it. But as of the moment, no anticipation of moving ahead right now. Dad's Club masks supporting Peeville Strong. Thank you very much, Dad's Club and also Pleasantville Strong, two anchors of this effort for us all to stick together. So thank you, Dad's Club, for supporting Peeville Strong. Someone asked if I would post on social media the message reminding people to carry their masks. I will certainly do that. let me just say again, and with conviction, you need to have a mask with you whenever you are outside. If you are able to maintain social distancing 6-8 feet from anyone else, you don't have to have it on, but you have to have it ready to put on if you need it. And if you go into a store, please, please, please put it on. It's not just about you, it's about each of us protecting one another, since the primary benefit of the masks is to avoid the exchange of the virus. So you need a mask in your pocket at all times. Supporting frontline local business and sports apparel company promoting safety and village pride. Thank you very much for that. A shout out, which I did the other night, to the McCulloughs and the entire team over at Scarborough and Tweed. They made a whole bunch of cloth masks and contributed them, washable cloth masks, and contributed them to the village. No surprise there that the McCulloughs and Scarborough and Tweed would be right there. Is commercial construction suspended? It's still going on Washington and Marble Avenue. So what's going on right next to the post office is when the first pause happened, the contractor there had a big hole in the ground and was partly through the process of extending a water main, and also partly through the process of setting up the forms to pour the foundation. So it is important, it was important at the time for that work to continue because the condition was unstable. We can't leave a water main exposed, and we can't leave the hole without proper support. It does appear that some of these projects can continue, and projects that have an affordable housing component can continue under some circumstances. All of that is a fast-moving target, and again, it's not our decision. It comes to us from New York State. But as of the moment, the commercial construction on Marble Avenue or Memorial Plaza continues for the reasons I just stated. And on Washington Avenue, the 98 Washington project, which is entirely an affordable housing project, is by the governor's edict allowed. The bids came in high for the Manville project. Have the prices come down and all that stuff slowed down? So actually, we haven't actually bid that project. The numbers that have come in high are the private estimates we have engaged. The project has not finally been approved, and it hasn't been sent to bid. As I mentioned a little while back, we're going to get to the point of all the drawings and approvals stapled in the corner and stop. We do not envision continuing with that right now until and unless conditions clarify. At the moment, it's just unclear to all of us what the impact of all of this is going to be on our community budget, on our individual budgets, all of the above. So big question marks, and I think that the board has discussed this at length, and we are not going to move ahead with that in the current environment until we have more clarity. Can you mention that people need to be careful if they're walking down the road when a sidewalk is available? I think people walk together while social distancing, which is lovely, but if they could go single file when an automobile approaches, it would be safer. I second that, I third it, I fourth it. The only responsible and respectful thing to do when you encounter anybody is to try to give them a wide berth. Regardless of whether everybody's wearing a mask, you're still better off far apart. Our best chance to edge back towards anything approaching normal life is if we maintain social distance, if we wear masks, if we limit in every possible way the transfer of this thing. It starts to feel good that we can be out and around in better weather. Heaven knows that's the way it feels to me and to my family, but all of that comes with some risks. So maintain social distance, wear masks, and wash your hands a lot, and we'll be okay. Break any of those rules, and lots of people won't be okay. So please, 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 give people a wide berth, walk single file, step out of the way for people. Don't expect that people will want to cross as closely as they used to. Somebody asked about the pool. I mentioned that earlier. As of the moment, it certainly is not going to open on Memorial Day. It's not clear whether we will be able to open it later in the summer or not. Matt Trainer, our Parks and Rec superintendent, is in touch not only with his colleagues throughout Westchester County and with New York State, but also with the national advice about all of that. Stay tuned on that. A couple of hellos and thanks. I thank you all for that. I think I got to that list. Let me go back. Is there a way to get the word out to landscapers who operate the village, please not to use leaf blowers? We're going to redouble that effort. As I reported at the outset, I know folks in their homes like to use leaf blowers to make everything look tidy. I know landscapers like to use leaf blowers because they make it quicker to clean up yards. It's just a terrible time to be blowing stuff around. And it's a terrible time to be making a whole lot of noise when so many of us are home. So many of us are working from home. So many kids are working on their schoolwork from home. And so many people are either suffering respiratory illness or, as must be the case for pretty much every one of us, every time you have a cough, you think, okay, am I all right? So now is the time to be using leaf blowers, and we're trying to get that word out in every way we can. We don't have a registry of landscapers, but we certainly have a list of folks we know, and we'll reach out to them. As an aside, we've had quite a few people seeking a leaf blower regulation in our code. That's something that has been controversial in the past that I think all of us on the board are happy to revisit, but it requires a public exchange and a public hearing, and clearly now isn't the time to try to launch that. Let me make sure I'm not missing somebody. Afraid somebody's going to get seriously hurt with the number of walkers on Washington Avenue on nice days. Could there be sidewalks? I assume you're referring to obviously the section further down Washington Avenue where there aren't any sidewalks. So if there had been an easy way to put sidewalks on either side of Washington Avenue, I dare say it would have happened a long time ago. It is an extraordinarily expensive and extraordinarily complicated venture that involves substantial changes to almost everybody's property, whichever side you do it. So what's the bottom line? The bottom line is certainly at the moment there is no money and no means by which we could launch a venture to build sidewalks further down Washington Avenue. So I really, 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 really encourage people to be extraordinarily careful on Washington Avenue. There are lots of times when it feels okay, but there isn't all that much space to get out of the way. So I wish I had a better answer, but that is the answer. Is there any plan to help the schools with their online plans should the closure extend beyond this year? So I'm not sure there's much the village can do. I can tell you that I talk to Mary Fox Alter and school board members on a multiple times a week basis, as does Eric Morrissey, Matt Trainer. All of our folks are working together and trying to support one another in every way we can, which is something we do day to day anyway, but is on overdrive right now. Not quite sure what that will look like. And one of our big questions, obviously, is our Panther Club program, which the village operates in BRS as the after-school program. We've got lots of furloughed employees, as well as some full-time employees who are not able to work in that realm right now. But we talk to the school district all the time. I don't know what the right answer may be. Someone says white lines on Washington Avenue have been a big help. I'm glad to hear that. Every little bit helps. Hey, before I forget, a shout out to everybody about the census. It's been a crazy, crazy time for everybody, but responding to the census is amazingly important. It is believed that Westchester County in 2010 may have been undercounted by as many as 100,000 people. Undercounting Westchester by 100,000 people meant for the last 10 years, every single year, millions of dollars in federal money that would have come apportioned based on population were not received. So the county keeps track of the level of response in every community. I can report the good news about Pleasantville is that last week we had the biggest increase, but we still haven't cracked the top 10 out of the 45 municipalities in terms of percentage response. So dig through your mail and find the postcard or the mailing. You can do it by mail. You can do it logging on. And you can also go to the census website, which is, I think, my2020census.gov, and fill out the census. It's a means by which Westchester gets way, way, way better federal support. It's a method by which we support or hopefully expand our congressional representation. And it just can't be that Pleasantville shouldn't be in the top 10 out of 45 municipalities in responding to the census. So get thee to the census. Come on, please. Leaf blowers, we talked about that, and we'll be revisiting our message again as many times as we possibly can. I don't want to burn up everybody's night. We've been going for about a half an hour. If there are more questions, I'm happy to respond. But I can also report that having broken the ice on a virtual town hall and had quite a few people participate, and making this video available online is going to be an advantage, and we'll keep doing it. So Cape and I on Facebook will let you know when we have the next one scheduled, but I and my colleagues on the village board will try to be more visible on Facebook, because we don't have the opportunity to be together in the flesh. Big shout out to this great village. It comes as no surprise to me, doing what I do and living here as long as I have, that it's just an extraordinary place. So here we are. We're in an extraordinary place in extraordinary times, the former being a superlative, the latter being a horrifying report. But gosh, if we have to suffer through what we're suffering through as a community, we got the right bunch of people to do it. So I just want to thank every one of you and all of your friends and neighbors. And remember, tuck that mask in your pocket. Signing off, I thank you all. See you soon.